story, WWE fans. Tonight's topics on the Wrestle Story are...
Legends collide.
Did Brock cash in?
And matches for Stomping Grounds have been announced.
All that and more coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view. How you doing, James?
How's it going? So today it is Super Showdown Day, and it's Friday. I got my prediction championship here. We're going to be, talking about our predictions and stuff that we picked before and the outcome of the matches and who's the new winner of this belt, because it's not me.
Definitely not you.
No, actually, if we're definitely nodding somebody, it should be Colin, because Colin was talking up a big load of garbage. He's I'm going to be the champion. And I was like, no, you're not. I'm going to be the champion.
Yeah.
I'm not the champion, but he sure isn't the champion either. So, Colin, you're in the chat. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's the first time you've ever been in the chat while we're, actually streaming. Because you generally...
Just chatting.
Not. So, yeah, I can tell you right now that you did not win the belt because you just didn't. So, we'll tally that up at the end. So, we start off with the long pre-show. My goodness. So, this pre-show was an hour long. I'm awake for now.
Sorry, I got a fly flying around me here.
I thought
it flew off.
I thought you were swatting me or something. Yeah, I agree. I'll talk about that in a minute, though, because... I'll talk about that in a minute.
She's upset, too.
So, we started off the show with the pre-show, obviously, and the pre-show was 47 hours long. Actually, it was only an hour long, but it felt really, really long because all they did was talk until the very last, 10 minutes when we actually had the Usos versus the Revival. It was dumb. Why did you need an hour-long pre-show? Why couldn't you have done...
It was extremely long.
Why couldn't you have just done a 30-minute pre-show? Because that's really all you needed. And you could talk for 20 minutes about whatever you wanted to talk about, and then the last 10 minutes you could have the Usos versus the Revival.
Better question, why do you ever need a pre-show?
That's even an even
why
better
don't you just
question.
start the show off?
I mean...
It's not like you're going to show anything that hasn't already been shown, so I don't understand why they do that.
Makes no sense.
Anyway, the Usos versus the Revival. I thought it was a solid match.
I did too. I think everybody picked the Usos except Colin. Colin picked the Revival.
Good job, Colin.
This is why you lost. Okay. So
the Usos get the win.
The Usos end up getting the win, and everybody has 1 point. Except for Colin.
But again, this is why the tag team division in WWE is not good.
Band pre-shows, they suck.
Definitely. I don't get the point of them. They just recap what's already taken place. They kind of give previews for what's going to be on the show.
They give their unnecessary opinions.
Kind of like we are right now.
Our opinions count.
Yeah.
We don't need their previews or their opinions before the show. We just need their opinions after the show.
Well, yeah, I don't understand, why they need the pre-shows, and just seems like a lot of wasted time when they could be showing, wrestlers that they never show.
I mean, yeah. Gladius has won. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary, fools.
Yeah, it's too bad. Is this the second one where they've been on the pre-show?
They were on the pre-show Money in the Bank, too, against Daniel Bryan and Rowan, and they, killed them.
So, the WWE's tag team division is, non-existent.
The Usos pretty much are the tag team division.
Well, you've got some tag teams.
Let's look at that.
Okay, but you have some tag teams out there. They just don't use them.
I understand that, but what I'm saying right now, their tag team division pretty much consists of the Usos because they're the only ones who are regularly on TV. Because they're a good tag team.
I mean, as far as that goes, yeah.
They're a good tag team, and they pretty much are the tag team division. They're the tag team division on Raw. And Rowan and Bryan are the tag team division on SmackDown because they're the champs. The champs aren't even the tag team division. The champs were in the stupid Battle Royal.
Yeah. So.
I mean, come on.
Kind of.
Stupid.
it's kind of dead, I guess. The tag team division is like worthless.
It was pointless.
So then we have Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin.
This was a great way to open the show.
Yeah, the only way I would have liked it better is, and I understand why they didn't, is if they would have Brock cash in, but only after Corbin won. I think they need to do that at Stomping Grounds.
I could see them doing that.
I would love to see Corbin win, and Brock cashes in on Corbin and gets the title that way. Because I think that would help get Brock over with fans that don't like him.
I mean, I could see that happening. And I think it'd be a good idea to get Brock over. Now, whether I do think it will happen or not, honestly, I don't think it will, because I'm thinking at this point, Brock is going to cash in on Kofi. Everybody's writing Kofi off like Brock isn't going to come back. Like, he's not going to go after Kofi. Like, the people on commentary after, they were like, oh, well, Seth is still going to have to watch his back. And I was like, what about Kofi? Kofi's the other champ, too. Just because Brock said, I'm cashing in on you, Seth Rollins, doesn't mean he can always go back.
Well, this is why
go cash in on Kofi when Kofi's least expecting it. Because he thinks he's going after Rollins.
This is why I like the idea of having Brock or having Corbin win and then Brock cash in on him right away.
I mean, it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I just don't think it'll happen, because I think they're going to go in the direction where they have him cash in on Kofi unexpectedly, because they're not even talking about Kofi anymore as being a contender where he could even cash in on him. But he still can, because he has the two different championship opportunities.
Yeah. Colin, I'm not surprised. I really wasn't surprised that there was no cash in, simply because it was in Saudi Arabia. I think they would rather do it over here where there is more
people willing to watch.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of people that just straight up said, I'm not watching it, because for one reason or another, they just said, I'm not watching it, because there are no women on the show, because it's in Saudi Arabia, because whatever, so a lot of people weren't watching it. A lot of people were just getting updates from Twitter.
Yeah, so I would, I think that's probably a huge reason why there was no cash in. Is to do it over here.
Mm-hmm. So, it was a lot of just a beat down on Seth during this match. He had his ribs all taped up. I wonder if his ribs are actually, like, broken, bruised, battered.
Possibly.
I could think they are, because he was hit pretty, he was smashed around on Monday.
Yeah, it could be.
So, he was all taped up, and then Corbin just beat him down. Like, no tomorrow. And then Corbin ended up getting out of the ring, grabbed a chair, and wanted to come back in and hit Seth upside the head, but the ref was like, yo, you hit him with the chair, it's over. This match is done. Your champion, it's gone. So don't do it. He took the chair and threw it outside the ring, and then Corbin ended up getting in the face of the ref that he was like, do your job, do your job, do your job. And then the ref just went off. Like, the ref was the star of that match. He just, like, chewed Corbin's head off, and then Corbin ended up tripping over Seth, and Seth ended up rolling him up for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But the ref was an absolute star in that match.
Definitely. Brock getting paid all that. Yeah. He got paid pretty good for, like,
10 seconds of work.
No more. But I guess it's no different than what he normally does.
I mean, yeah, because then
at least before, when he was showing up every 6 months, he was still getting paid.
I mean, yeah.
So
a lot of money.
At least now he's showing up.
So then after Seth won, Corbin ended up getting back in the ring, hit him with the End of Days or Deep Six, I don't know which. Again, they're super similar, and I have no idea which is which.
Yeah.
They're both, like, swinging DDT things. So, after that's done, Corbin does his thing, hits him again, gets out of the ring, disappears. Brock's music hits. Everybody goes nuts. They're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, Brock's gonna cash in, he's gonna cash in. And then, Brock gets in the ring. Paul Heyman attempts to get in the ring, but trips over the ropes as he's stepping in, which then leads Brock to kind of get distracted for a second, look around. Seth grabs a chair, hits him upside the head. Brock falls over. Paul Heyman's standing there going, oh crap.
So here's the question.
What did I just do?
Was it part of the show, or was it an accident?
I think it was part of the show. I think they could be splitting up Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
That's what I've been saying.
Well, now that makes it more obvious. It makes it more obvious now.
Yes, definitely second Corbin.
Yeah.
After we're done talking about this match, I'll give you my opinion on Evolution 2. Sorry.
So, like, Heyman trips. It's super obvious that they could be leaning towards a split now because Heyman is essentially the reason that Brock just got beat down by Seth with a chair, with the briefcase.
Yeah.
But Heyman is the reason. And so, Seth then just beats him down and is standing atop of him because, you know, he can.
Yeah.
So, it was real fun. I was like, oh. Well, my party's over. After Seth won, I was like, woohoo, there's no cash in. There's going to be no cash in. And then they did the stupid thing. And I kind of like what they're doing.
It's like making
Brock
seem like he's like human.
I mean, yeah.
So I think that's going to help people. I think that'll help get him over with people.
I think it will.
But I think ultimately if they had Corbin beat Seth, if the plan is to get the tie on Brock and get him over, have Corbin beat Seth, and then have Brock cash in on Corbin.
I think that would be...
And then for people like James who's sick of Corbin, he would love Brock. So I was going to say Evolution 2.
Yeah, that hashtag's been going around like all night because nobody wanted to watch the Saudi show because they didn't have any women on it.
Well, and I think that I don't see it happening just because they don't push the women.
I would love to see an Evolution 2.
They don't push the women at all, so I don't know.
I would love to see it, but I am kind of along the same lines of you. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
Just because,
like I said, they're not pushing the women at all.
I'd love to see it, though.
Well, I think it'd be good.
And talking about the women real quick. So Natalya and Alexa Bliss both went over to Saudi with them, right? Right. I started that. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Hey, Export, how's it going? Taker versus Goldberg was just sad. I love Boombox Brock. Normal Brock.
Yeah, I like Boombox Brock. Boombox Brock.
I like him too. So the women, they brought Natalya and Alexa over, and I think I talked about this the other day when I didn't mean our Alexa actually sitting there. No, but they brought them over, and they were going to try and have them have a match on there, but the Saudi government wouldn't let it go through. Saudi wouldn't let it happen. And I was like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
Why did you bring them?
Well, if they went over, then that was the plan, and they knew it wasn't going to happen. So
why? What was the purpose?
Yeah.
It was a waste of a trip.
Definitely.
No purpose whatsoever. Because you knew it wasn't going to happen.
No. I mean, it was pretty obvious it wasn't going to happen, so I don't know why it was going to waste their time.
Made no sense.
So then we have Demon Finn Balor versus Andrade for the Intercontinental title match.
Good match, I thought.
Yeah, definitely a good match.
Balor's paint didn't last very long.
Again, I think, well, that's because, 1,004 degrees out there, so PR stunt.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
That's probably what it was. I don't know. It's just it's too obvious that it wasn't going to happen.
It wasn't going to happen, and it just didn't make any sense.
Well,
why waste their time, bringing them over there to not even have them do anything?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it was a trip for them to go see Saudi Arabia, I guess.
I mean, I guess, but it just seems like a waste.
Yeah.
If they weren't going to actually use them.
Yeah. Demon Finn Balor, Andrade, a good match. Overall, like you said, the Demon didn't keep his paint on very long.
No, he didn't. It just
guess they need to get sweat-proof paint or something, because
I guess it was they were saying that it was 102 degrees.
Yeah.
It was 94 with a real feel of 102, and I was like, bro.
Yeah.
The crowd kind of dead for the Andrade and Finn match.
Yeah.
I feel like the crowd wasn't great all evening.
No,
I mean, like, there were, like, certain spots where it kind of, like, peaked.
Well, I think one of the
Like,
issues you have...
when, like, the Battle Royal happened, it was kind of exciting there. And then, like, Randy Orton versus Triple H, they were kind of excited. They were good during, like, Goldberg and Undertaker's entrance. And then it just died off.
Well, I think one of the big issues you have is the big open stadiums like that. If you don't have, like, a full house, and I don't... There's a couple times I looked, and I don't think that they were full. So I think...
aren't they supposed to be promoting change?
Yeah, it's supposed to be promoting change, but it's not doing... they're not doing a good job of it, so I don't know,
Makes sense.
Just doesn't work. And definitely Demon Finn is the best for business. I agree 100%. I thought, the crowd overall, I thought was... It's hard to tell because you had times where it looked like, they got into a little bit, but they didn't seem to be real loud.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, I think, has to do with the big open space. So that's just my thought on it.
Yeah, and I mean, I can understand it. It just felt like the crowd wasn't super. They were into some things, but then other things they were just like, no.
But what do you expect? I mean, it's kind of a situation where you're sending a bunch of wrestlers over there that aren't necessarily over there all the time, and I don't know.
Might not necessarily want to be there.
Yeah. So Balor ends up winning, which was really a shock considering he was the Demon. That was one that I thought was pretty obvious on what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I saw actual fans during the battle. Yeah.
Hello, Scott. How's it going?
We're just the spike tombstone in the midst of her.
Yeah, I want to talk about that in just a minute. The ending to the Undertaker Goldberg match. Because I think I kind of have an idea of why they, like, I know there were a lot of botches in it, but I kind of have a feeling why they ended it, like, so early. And, like, it just makes sense.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah. So, they're going back to the Diva era. Yeah, I mean, I just don't...
Definitely. It's...
the women are supposed to be taken seriously and be taken, like, just as seriously as the men, but they're, like, really not because they're not on television ever, so they don't really ever have a chance to prove themselves.
Yes.
So it's just,
yeah. Definitely.
Diva era, not cool.
Then we have Roman versus Shane. Why they
this match? I never want to see Shane on my TV ever again. I know Colin tweeted me and was like, I never want to see Shane on my TV ever again. I never want to see Shane ever again, period. Like, he can just go away and I wouldn't care. And I'm like, right there with you because this match was stupid.
Definitely, I agree. I thought for sure this was going to be the end of...
Who was right here?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Good job.
And
good job, Colin. That's one of the two you got right.
No, it isn't. You didn't even pick Shane. You picked Roman, you fool. What are you even talking about, man? The only person who picked Shane was Anthony. Anthony was it. What's the payoff to the Shane crap? He's gonna be champion? Good question. God, I hope not.
I don't get it, and I've said this many times. You have, like, great wrestlers out there.
Sorry, I think I just ran over your foot.
It's okay. I got another one. You got.
I'm irritated.
All these wrestlers, they don't use them. I don't understand it, and they keep using Shane over and over again, and they keep having.
And they're
win.
not even okay. Wait.
That's funny.
The Vince line. The Vince line. No, it's not. Wait a sec. Didn't I pick Shane? Oops. LOL. No, you didn't. Okay. You didn't pick Shane. Okay. You picked Roman, just like everybody else.
Yeah, so it was, I don't understand what they're doing with Shane. No clue. Why
I don't understand it.
Here's what I hope happens, okay? If they're gonna take this storyline, I hope that McIntyre turns on him and destroys him.
I hope so.
That's what I hope happens.
I hope so, man. That's the only logical thing here, okay? So they had Shane beat over Roman. What? Roman Reigns. They had Shane beat Roman Reigns, who hasn't been beaten by anybody in months. And they have Shane beat him.
Yeah.
You're joking me. You gotta be joking me.
I agree 100%. Don't get it. Didn't understand it. And I have no clue why.
It makes Roman look real good, doesn't it? Roman looks real good when you have freaking Shane McMahon beating him.
But again,
he's a superstar.
The thing is, wins and losses really don't mean anything in the WWE, so...
No, but it's
okay.
Stupid.
Just like this next match, we have the Lucha House Party versus Lars Sullivan.
This was dumb.
The match didn't even happen.
This was extremely... the match... No. The match got started.
Well, they didn't pin... the match
there was
didn't
no
happen.
ending.
I mean, there was no ending to it.
They got in the ring, they started to wrestle, Lucha House Party threw Lars around, Lars threw Lucha House Party around, and then they all, got out of the ring, and, Lucha House Party started to walk off, and then Lars went after them and destroyed all of them.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
We've seen that before, haven't we?
Haven't we seen this?
Multiple times.
I believe, that this should have been the main event. I mean, it should have been. I don't understand why it wasn't.
Well,
I honestly thought Lars Sullivan versus Lucha House Party would be the main event. I'm so shocked
definitely.
It wasn't.
He is doomed to the main roster. Hey, but at least he's getting TV time, unlike, some of the other ones.
I'm worried about Stomping Grounds. Dear God, let's not see a Lars versus Lucha House Party rematch there. I mean, come on, guys.
Maybe that's all they're going to have him wrestle.
Lucha House Party?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so
punishment. Punishment for everything he's ever done in life.
This week he's going to wrestle Lucha House Party again on...
All right, so come Monday, he's going to have another little segment there where he's supposed to get on the microphone and talk. You'll be at Stomping Grounds. Well, that sounds fun.
Hey, that's cool.
That sounds absolutely fun.
So that means you'll miss our show.
Darn it! Darn. Well, you'll just have to, report back to us.
Yes.
How was the actual crowd there?
Yes.
They got 2 weeks for Stomping Grounds. Wow. The pay-per-views are so close together. This stupid... Okay, I'm going to talk about Stomping Grounds in a little bit because I have it written down because they did something real stupid on this show. Wow. The whole show, they did a lot of stupid things on this.
Pretty much.
So, we'll talk about that in just a minute. So why not learn? Yeah. I mean, why not? So, yeah, that was pointless. Pointless 20 minutes of the show, 30 minutes of the show. Pointless. Then we had Triple H versus Randy Orton. Good match, I thought. A lot of back and forth. It was really what we expected.
Yeah, a good match. I thought it would be a good match,
I'm going to answer that question in just a couple minutes.
But why does Lacey get to face Becky?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have a little conversation about that.
So Randy Orton ends up getting the win. Good match, I thought.
It was a good match. I liked all the back and forth. There was a spot where they tried to get the table to break. Triple H was trying to slam Randy into the table, and he did it 4 times, and the table did not want to break.
Yes.
It was kind of funny. He just continuously, he was slamming him. He was like,
I thought that's the way
all right, I guess we're going to do it again. Let's see if we can break the table. And a 2.
I just thought that's how the show was going to end, was just 2
trying
hours
to get that
of
table to
to
break.
get the table break.
It was really funny. So, Randy Orton ends up getting the win. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I honestly, Randy Orton had the upper hand in the beginning, and so I kind of thought that they were going to go with Triple H. And then Triple H kind of got the upper hand, and then Randy Orton was, back on top again. And I was like, oh, well, Hunter's for sure going to win this match then, right? And then he didn't. Randy Orton ended up winning.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool. It was a good match. The crowd was really into it.
It felt like I had the slow motion on in this match, but pretty good. Was it slow motion because it's not the kind of action that a lot of the wrestling is now? Is that why you felt it was slow motion?
I mean, I could see that being why people wouldn't like it as much. See, I kind of said something like that while I was sitting there watching it. I was like, this isn't generally something that we like seeing on, a regular pay-per-view, like Triple H versus Randy Orton or whatever. because they don't generally make the card unless it's like WrestleMania, like the Batista Triple H thing, you know? That wouldn't have been done any other time except that. But, like, the Saudi crowd gets really into it, unlike I feel like we would, just because it's something that they don't get to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they, like, got into the Randy Orton and Triple H match, like, a lot more because it's something different and not, you know?
Well, the thing about it is, and I told you this the other night, that the older wrestlers, I mean, even Goldberg and Undertaker,
so the crowd loved Randy Orton.
Yeah. Even with that. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Nice to see Triple H had
Yeah.
NXT on his jacket and NXT chants. That was the first thing I noticed when he came out and he did his entrance. Did Randy Orton RKO Triple H? Yeah, that's what he did to win. He hit him with RKO He hit him with RKO like 3 times during the match.
Yeah.
But like the last one actually worked, and he ended up getting the pin. But that was the first thing I noticed during his entrance, is he had NXT like in big letters on his jacket, and I thought that was really cool. And then he did get NXT chants, and I thought, I mean, like, that's what he's known for.
Yeah, I thought
that's
that was cool.
Honestly,
definitely thought
right
cool.
now, that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't wrestle as often as he used to.
Always, you know, we've seen him now, 2 out of the last 5 weeks? 2 out of the last 4 weeks? We see him as much as we'd seen Brock Lesnar there for a while.
I mean, yeah. I guess you're right.
So, I don't know. I think some of these older guys can wrestle still. It's just going to be a different style of wrestling.
I agree. Just because it is, you know, it's a different era. They were brought up in a different era.
Well, it's not,
where
not a little high-flying stuff that you have now.
Yeah.
So then we have, after Randy Orton gets the win in that one, we have Braun versus Bobby Lashley.
Good match, I thought. It was decent.
Yeah, it was another decent match. I mean, again,
I wasn't, like, super into it. I mean, I was kind of in and out, like, not really paying attention, and then I kind of looked up and saw, you know, oh, that's kind of cool, and then I, you know, wasn't paying attention again.
I think one of these...
It's just because we've seen it a million times.
I was going to say, one of the things that kills it is you've seen it a bunch, and it's not like there was a build-up to it. It's been an ongoing thing with them. So it was kind of a, okay.
Match.
Yeah. So Braun gets the win.
Yeah, as everybody predicted, except Colin once again. Colin was on a roll. He was like, woo! I'm going to pick all the weird picks, and then I don't win. You pick Lashley, and everybody else picked Braun.
You think Braun and Lashley are done? The issue is if they don't push them, it doesn't make any. It's all about who they want to push.
I think that once Lashley's contract is up, I don't think he's re-signing.
I don't think he'll come back.
Because I think when he came back, he was thinking it was gonna be a bigger deal than what he's been given. I think he should have been pushed. I could, but I don't want to, because spoiler alert, you only had 2. You only got 2 right. Everybody else had like between 5 and 8, and you had got 2.
I don't know. You know, a lot of these guys, again, it goes back to you need tiers, different levels. You need to have a high card wrestlers. You need to have mid card, and you need to have lower card. And they don't do it. And the sad part is you have 5 hours of wrestling a week to do it, and they don't do it. You get Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
We'll tell you in just a minute, James. We'll tell you how many you got.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through and tell everybody what they did and how well they did and. Okay, I'm gonna show everybody what he just said.
Did the Battle Royal actually have 50 people in it? It did.
I think so.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Shut. Not the other one.
I'm pretty sure if there wasn't, there was close.
It looked like 50 people. So, then we have Kofi versus Dolph. Another good match. Decent match.
Yes.
Kofi ends up getting the win. And then after the fact, we go to the back where Dolph Ziggler's back there. And he's like, I want a rematch with Kofi. I'm demanding I get a rematch with Kofi Kingston in a steel cage. It's should have been me. There is my Dolph Ziggler impression.
I don't, this whole idea of, there's no build up. It's basically the wrestlers picking and choosing what they're going to do. And I would rather see like a build up to this. If they want to have a steel cage match, fine, but like have a build up to it, not just Dolph Ziggler going, I want Kofi Kingston next at Stomping Grounds, and I want a steel cage match. Because it'll be just me and him. Like,
yeah, he didn't want any outside interference
how much
from anybody.
Did Xavier Woods even interfere?
I think there was like one part where he like stood up on the ropes and it like distracted him, and that was like it.
Yeah,
there wasn't even
much
like
to
interference. So.
Yes, definitely glad for Kofi.
So it was kind of like meh. So it was like a decent match. This feud is far from over, sadly.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna end it with Dolph actually getting the title.
They might.
Dolph Ziggler channeling his inner Billy Ray Cyrus. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you got a couple weeks here for Stomping Grounds, and I don't understand this whole idea of trying to get the matches out there.
Okay, I'm going to also talk about that.
I don't understand why they don't just wait till the Raw. I mean, I understand promoting the pay-per-view, but obviously people are going to buy tickets to the pay-per-view no matter what. And they know
they may have already bought tickets to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and they know
because the tickets go on sale like weeks in advance.
Obviously, Scott is going to the pay-per-view, so they've been out there and people have bought them. So I mean, they really don't need to.
I could very well see that.
I hope not. I want them to do what I said.
Well,
they
doesn't
won't do
matter.
what I said.
Exactly. That's what I said.
But I think
I said because they're counting Kofi out right now. Okay, nobody is saying anything about Kofi. Nobody. They're all like, "Oh, Brock's gonna cash in on Seth." Blah 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 blah. Seth. Blah 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 blah. Seth. Did you hear Kofi? No, because they're not talking about it. Because he's gonna sneak up on Kofi when he least expects it, and he's gonna pin him, and he's gonna take his championship, and he's gonna go to SmackDown, and then we're gonna get the brand switch.
Yeah. So that tickets went on sale April 30th. I mean, they don't even know who's gonna be in the matches and things like that. So obviously, people are buying tickets to go to the pay-per-view, no matter who is gonna be there.
Exactly.
So they could have waited till
Monday.
Well, they could have waited
Tuesday.
till the week before the pay-per-view and said, here's the lineup.
Well, we only had one.
They could have built some matches.
We legit had 2 matches announced. We had Bayley versus Alexa and Drew versus Roman, which has kind of been talked about, but I don't think was ever confirmed. So
Brock's gonna win the title and go away for ever. I could see him going back to doing what he was doing before, where he shows up, every pay-per-view and
72 weeks.
That's pretty much all.
Well, that'd be stupid. So then we have the 50-man battle royal. Some notable people. And we had Ollie.
Ricochet.
We had Ricochet. Cesaro had a big part in there. We had Samoa Joe.
Elias.
I don't even know who else.
I don't know who else. Tag teams.
We had Usos were in there. Revival was in there.
The War Machine, or no, is that what they're called?
No, the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, and what's the other one?
Viking Raiders.
Heavy Machinery, that's it.
Breaking news! Buddy Murphy and the War Raiders were found. And do you know who made their return tonight? AOP!
Yeah.
In the stupid... Yeah, you said that. I missed it. AOP made the stupid return in the freaking Battle Royal, and we didn't even, make mention of it.
Well, again, this is
Excuse me?
The whole idea behind this 50-man Battle Royal is to get as many people there as possible.
Where was R-Truth? R-Truth was on the plane there, but then he wasn't in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Drake Maverick wasn't in the Battle Royal. Jinder Mahal was in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was...
Okay, my pick wasn't even in the Battle Royal. I chose Matt Riddle, and he wasn't in the
That's
Battle
what
Royal.
we said after the show, was why was R-Truth even there? Because...
What?
Didn't make sense.
Unless
they're going to have him pinned out in the desert by a camel or something.
I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, R-Truth's running through the desert.
He might still be in the bathroom on the plane.
Yeah,
Maybe he didn't get the memo to get off.
Might have.
I mean, we could spin a million different stories.
Yeah.
So, the actual winner of the Battle Royal, you know what's really funny? I said this morning. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
What about there's Mansoor. He's in NXT. We've been talking about people from NXT, and I was like, Mansoor. He's from Saudi.
Yep.
He got the thing to go to NXT. He won the tryout. What if he's in the Battle Royal, and what if he wins? I legit said that this morning, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And then what happened?
Mansoor wins.
Mansoor got the win.
Yes.
And ended up winning.
Yeah.
I was like, am I genius or am I genius? If only that had been my pick. If only I had changed that in writing on the stupid thing.
Well, it makes sense for, considering where he's from and stuff.
He got a big pop, big crowd reaction, and that's just because he's from there.
Yeah.
Mansoor versus Orton in November. Oh boy, that'd be a match.
If you promote it right and push things the right way, then you might be able to make something out of it.
All right, let's read the chat here. Another dumb move, not having R-Truth in the Battle Royal. That's what I said. Why did Truth make the trip? Makes no sense. Final 6 left in the Battle Royal were all former or current NXT stars. And then Mansoor versus Orton in November.
I wonder, if they had the former or current NXT stars there to kind of push NXT.
Maybe.
I mean, considering Triple H came out with an NXT jacket.
Maybe. And I knew there were going to be some NXT stars in it. It just weren't the NXT stars I thought they were going to put in. Because I thought they were going to put in maybe like some more like big name ones that might draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Like Matt Riddle, but Seth plus Ali equals Mansoor.
That's funny.
It's so true though. Some guy on Twitter was like, oh yeah, Ali won the Battle Royal. And I was like, I hate to break it to you, man, but Ali didn't win the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
It was Mansoor. They look a lot alike,
They do.
but it wasn't.
And then there's a
Ali.
picture of them on Twitter that was them standing next to each other and like just how much they look alike. It's
They
crazy.
look so much alike. They could be brothers.
Yeah.
It's like weird. So, he won the Battle Royal. Then, they only had him win because WWE Saudi. Oh yeah. The tryout from Saudi last year, Mansoor won to make peace with the Saudi crowd. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So then we have the good old Stomping Ground matches that were just conveniently placed right here in the show to just announce them, and we didn't even know they were gonna happen until now. So we have Kofi versus Dolph in a steel cage match. It is confirmed. We will be getting that at Stomping Grounds.
A rematch.
What?
And we'll probably watch that feud for the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. It'll be the same thing where Dolph Ziggler comes out, kicks off Kofi's head.
Yeah.
It should have been me!
Yeah. It'll be the same stuff.
Super kick him in the head. Knock him out. It should have been me!
And then
Kofi will get 2 words in there.
we will have Seth versus Corbin.
In a rematch.
I can't believe they're having this match. I don't think we've ever seen this match.
I was trying not to think that, Scott, but I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wouldn't shock me.
I think that's really the only reason they
Yeah.
had. The women's match got a pop in the crowd. I mean, he's from NXT. Mansoor's from NXT. He's wrestled 3 times or 4 times in the last couple weeks. And I was like, I think it's because they have the Saudi show coming up and they want to get his name out there a little bit. Which makes sense now because he won the stupid Battle Royal.
Yeah, definitely.
Anthony!
What was the point
You're
of
in
watching
the chat!
this
How's
show
it going?
if we're going to see it again? I agree. I don't know why they're doing this. I mean, it makes no sense.
It really makes no sense.
You could start building storylines and have storylines build over the next 2 weeks and going into the next pay-per-view and be fine. But they're going to go with the same stuff.
So next.
Of course, this is all card subject to change because you never know what odd and weird things they will do.
So next, we have Becky versus Lacey.
We've never seen that match.
Once again. Yeah, cool. Great, Anthony. Good to know. Doing good. I said the exact same. Okay. Did anybody else watch the interview thing with Becky Lynch this morning on Twitter at 11:30?
No.
Because I did. And James did. I know James did. But did anybody else watch that? Because she couldn't have spoken more truly. She was like, I need some competitors that actually should be, like, competing against me, you know? Like, that are actually going to come up to me and be like, this is why I should be facing the man, and this is why I should have a championship opportunity. But I haven't been given any of those competitors yet. And I was like, yeah, yep. Couldn't be more true. And then later in the evening, they freaking announced that we're getting Becky versus Lacey. Sounds good. Once again, more competitors who don't have any reason as to why they're given a title shot. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay? Lacey has lost, like, 4 times in a row on Raw. She's lost, like, 4 times. I don't understand it.
Well,
there are other people.
Here's why they're doing it.
I don't care.
You got 2 weeks. They don't know how to do stories, okay? If they knew how to do storylines, you could promote, have someone else in line ready to go.
They could.
But they don't
They
promote
choose not to.
anybody else. And that's the big thing. They don't promote anybody else.
After that match last week, why in the world is she getting another title shot? It's madness. Yeah. Yep.
Scott.
Good question.
Charlotte's on the Stomping Grounds poster but has no match. Yes, she may be on the Stomping Grounds poster but at this point in time has no match. But don't be shocked if she doesn't get into a match somehow, some way.
I honestly thought that they were going to kind of make it a triple threat and do Lacey versus Charlotte versus Becky.
They may still do that over the next 2 weeks.
Because it just makes sense with the way it's going right now for them to do that. It would suck, but that's going to be what happens. And I could very well see that happening. I don't get it. Especially, just like Holland said, especially after the match that Lacey had last week. Why? Why are we still doing this? It's going to be Beth with the stuff on Twitter with Becky.
Again, they
build stuff up better on Twitter than they do on TV.
But they don't put them in the match. I mean, you build stuff on Twitter, but you don't ever see anything take place within.
No, because everything that's built up on Twitter has absolutely nothing to do with WWE because WWE sucks at storylines. Becky doesn't. Becky has gone out on her own and gone after people. She went after Edge and Beth both. And that's a better story than the stupid Lacey match that we're going to get at freaking Stomping Grounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't understand why. Why don't you promote? But they do the same thing on the men's side. There's only about 10 wrestlers that you see. And everybody else is chasing R-Truth around.
It just makes no sense. Absolutely, no sense.
No. And
I just don't get it.
It's kind of confusing. I don't understand why. They need to expand more. Again, it's like I said, you need to have your high tier, your low tier, and your middle tier.
Oh my gosh. The Goldberg Matt Riddle thing.
Yes.
We watched that right
we watched that right before we came on. That was funny.
It was so hilarious. He was like, Goldberg, once again, you have proven to be the worst wrestler ever. Great job, man. Pat on the back. Excellent. It was so funny.
I'm going to make a comment on that after we talk about it.
I thought it was kind of funny. Would love to see Becky versus Beth. I would too. I think it'd be a good match.
Yeah.
And, if she came out of retirement for the European tour, and she came out of retirement to go for those tag team titles one time that she didn't win, why not come out of retirement again to go against Becky?
Or better yet, how about you use the women that are actually, like, wrestling in WWE that you could use?
Well, they don't know how to do that.
You got about 10,000 wrestlers that sit around and do nothing, and you could use them.
I mean, you could, but they just choose not to. So, that's stupid. I don't understand why we're doing Becky versus Lacey again for the Raw Women's Championship. No sense. Especially after last week. So then we have Alexa versus Bayley, which was announced on Tuesday, because of the match. Number 1 contenders match.
Yeah.
Alexa, she's from Raw. She's going to go, I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty sure she's going to go win that SmackDown Women's Championship. Bring it back over to Raw. And then with stuff that's kind of gone on between where they've had kind of friction, Becky and Alexa, I'm thinking that they're going to have her maybe do like a title, SmackDown title, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a winner takes all type of situation where Becky walks out with both belts again.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, maybe that's just me thinking too much. It's too much of a good idea for WWE
Well,
to do
it is. I mean, that's a big issue with WWE right now is I don't know. I'd like to see them get more wrestlers involved and make it more interesting, and people would like it a lot more, I think.
I think they would.
And you could create good storylines.
Goldberg and Taker got into a shouting match backstage.
After the match?
Where'd you see this? Twitter! Let's go to Twitter! Everything goes down on Twitter. Well, I wouldn't really be shocked because you could see that, like, Taker did look kind of irritated during his match. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm thinking that it was probably just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He did look kind of irritated.
So then the last match we have for Stomping Grounds that's been announced is Drew versus Roman.
What a shock! Watch. Shane will get involved here, and then we'll have Drew McIntyre with the win, because
probably.
Roman can't win ever. He can't have a good day ever.
Yeah. I can see it happening. I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
So then, we have the main event. The main event. Undertaker versus Goldberg. Entrances were really good.
Yeah.
Like, per usual. The Undertaker's entrance was different than it generally is. The jackhammer on Taker was awful. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that because, so, Goldberg ended up, running into, like, he, like, went full force, like, he was supposed to go into the pole. And he, like, went full force and, like, busted his head open.
Yeah.
And so, after that, he was, like, bleeding down his face. And, so, I'm kind of thinking that they, ended the match early. Because he was having issues. I know you said that he might have...
Yeah, entrances were definitely longer than the match.
Yeah. You said something like, well, what if Goldberg, like, knocked himself out? Like...
Well, if you watch the match, after he hit the pole...
He was, like, stumbling around.
He kind of staggered around and looked like he didn't know where he was.
Like, for just a minute. And then he, made contact with the Undertaker and, I don't know, man.
So, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it. But just looking at the way he was kind of staggering around. And I know, you try to sell it, but that was like...
He went, like, full force into the pole. Like, he, like, knocked his head off of it. So I wouldn't be shocked if he was knocked out.
The way that... just the way he was walking around right after it, I thought he was kind of actually, like, legitimately dazed and
like, no clue where it was.
Not acting. I think it was
and
a
then
legitimate,
after,
like...
what helps that theory is the fact that when he went for the jackhammer, he didn't get him up completely, and Taker wasn't, like, dropped on his head, but he came down sooner than what it should have been. And then what I found even more interesting was the fact that Goldberg just kind of laid beside him for a second, and like where it would look like he would have been possibly talking to him, being like, yo, we need to end the match because this is not cool. Like, we need to end it. And so then, I mean, it was more like a brain buster, not a jackhammer. Yeah. But then he went for the pin right after that, but the weird thing was that there was like that 5-7 seconds where he was just laying there, where it would have been where he could have been like, we need to end the match. And then he went for the pin, which was not generally how
that's why works. I wonder if he wasn't, like, legitimately, like, dazed from the whole thing.
And then,
no, Goldberg did not win, James. Undertaker got the win.
So then he, like, went for he was gonna, like, tombstone pile drive Taker, but then, screwed that up. And then Taker ended up pile driving him, and he got the win. But there were still, like, 15 minutes of the show left when this or like 20 minutes of the show left when the match ended. And then they had, like, 15 minutes left, roughly, when the show actually ended.
Yeah, that's why I wonder.
And so I'm thinking that they ended it early because Goldberg, like, knocked himself out. Which I wouldn't be shocked.
No.
Just
I wouldn't
because
be shocked
he,
either.
like, went full force into the pole, like, clunk.
Yeah. So where did you see that they got into an argument backstage, Scott?
Yeah. Gotta Got to figure all the details out.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Interested to see. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, the whole thing.
It wasn't good.
But I don't think...
It wasn't like it wasn't good, but I don't think it was anybody's fault. I think it was like Goldberg ran into the pole like really, really hard, knocked his head off of it, and they got knocked silly. And you can't help that. Like, that's not his fault. That, I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and then, the whole Matt Riddle thing about him not being a wrestler and things like that. No, he was never a wrestler. The thing is, he wasn't a wrestler. I mean, that's...
On Wrestling News Source, according to Brad Shepard.
So this was after the match that they got into the argument? Could pull it up.
Sure.
I just, as far as wrestling goes, like, especially the wrestling we see now, Undertaker and Goldberg were never that way.
Yeah. Oh, I see it. Aha! Thank you.
So, yeah, I saw he had there was a cut on his head when he was walking to the ring, so I don't know what that was about.
Undertaker and Bill Goldberg reportedly get into a shouting match backstage at Super Showdown. According to a report from both Slice Wrestling and Brad Shepard, Bill Goldberg and The Undertaker got into a heated shouting match after their performance at today's WWE Supercard pay-per-view. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, the reason for the fight was due to Taker being upset with the outcome and overall performance of Goldberg in their match. Dude, he, knocked his head off a pole.
Like I said, there was a lot of botches, but I think that...
I don't think...
I'm going to have to go, again, I'm going to have to go back and watch it, but I'm not sure he didn't, legitimately...
knock himself out. And if that was the case, then, you want to try and finish the match as best as you can, but if you're legitimately knocked out, there's nothing you can do.
No.
It's not like...
And it's not that he was knocked out. I think he got his bell rung and was
not silly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's nothing you can do about that.
No.
You just have to be more careful and not knock your head off the ring post.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're, thrown into the ring post, you know what I mean? Because, he went for a running spear into the Undertaker from the corner, but then Undertaker moved, and he just, went clunk.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to hit his shoulder regular people.
Brad Shepard, that's probably wrong.
Yeah, we know how Brad Shepard is.
Well, there's a couple that were reporting it, so...
it just depends. Either it's true or it's not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's true.
Yeah.
Just because...
Well, just the way the whole thing went down, it wouldn't shock me.
Not great. And I wouldn't be shocked if they're going to have another match somewhere down the line.
No.
Because of the finish of this one.
Well, it wouldn't shock me either, or they just made, ditch the whole idea and just forget about it.
Forget about it. Woo! 20 years to get this match, and then...
Yeah. And then it does
fail.
Yeah.
It's a flop.
So, those of you that were involved in our little prediction show, Colin, I'm sorry.
You'd have told me 2.
You only picked 2, right?
Yeah, you said you're officially retiring from predictions.
Elijah, Export, and Maven.
We all had 5.
All had 5. James and me.
You.
We had 6.
And
the
Anthony,
winner
and our brand new champion.
Anthony,
sorry. I'll just hold the belt for you because, you really can't because it's a screen and stuff. So I'll hold the belt for you. We're going to keep a tally because you're, the first not us winner.
Yes.
So. Okay.
Hey, that'd be cool.
He's okay. He's okay with it. Cool. Cool. Yep, you're the champ. You're the winner. You got all the, most predictions right. You said you got the Usos right. You got Braun right. Demon, Kofi, Seth. You said Shane when everybody else said Roman, Randy Orton, and the Undertaker. So.
Yeah, that's the sad part is we have 8 more years left of these shows.
Can we get out of them sooner than that?
Well, are they any worse than some of the other pay-per-views?
No, not really.
Right now?
No.
I mean, they're gonna have to step up their game no matter what happens. I mean, especially if AEW comes on and is able to put together a good show every week.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna have to step up their game.
Yeah. See the AEW shirt in the
yeah.
back? I didn't. 8 more Taker matches. 8 more years of this nonsense. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Well, the problem is really, have they had a good pay-per-view recently? I mean, we can talk about 8 more years of this. Their pay-per-views so far, like recently, have not been good.
Great? No, not really. It just...
Yeah. So...
Not great.
No. They need to do... Yeah.
That
just need a big overhaul.
That's hilarious.
Whether it's writing or Vince, something needs to change.
Agree. The one the Super Showdown that they had last year, was so much better than this one.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations to Anthony. He's the new title holder.
Yes. Good job, Anthony.
Yep. Most predictions right. Round of applause to you. I suck. It's fine. I wasn't that far off. Yeah, I was pretty far off. I had 5. Colin was really far off.
Yes. But it's okay, Colin. There's another opportunity in 2 weeks.
Come back, Stomping Grounds, and try and
the crazy thing is, it's a lot of the same matches that we had.
Now just pick the opposite person that you chose before. Actually, that might not help you because you chose people that ended up losing the first time around. And then the people that you didn't choose actually won. So maybe pick the same people you picked before. Yeah. Because they might get the win. Hey, you got 5. I suck. I got 2. That's okay. I got like 8 last time, and that's how I won Money in the Bank. Yeah. Because you had like, a small amount, and I had a big amount, That's generally how that works.
Pretty much.
Taker versus Sting for the next Saudi show. I wouldn't be shocked. I saw somewhere that Sting said that he would come back for one more match.
The thing is, now Sting might be a little bit different because he did do some stuff that was a little more athletic than
actually wrestling,
like Goldberg and Taker, but I didn't expect much from this. I mean, they're not the high flying, wrestlers. Today.
Taker did do his cool thing from the top rope where he walks on it.
Yeah,
that was cool.
And that's what I'm saying is with their type of wrestling. I didn't, besides the botches and things like that, and I'll have to go back and watch and see, and maybe it'll change my opinion. But I think when Goldberg knocked himself out, I think that changed everything.
Messed the whole matchup.
Yeah. With that,
Becky better retain so she can move on from this nonsense. Agreed.
That will be our show for today.
Agreed.
We will be back on Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
With our regular Raw
Monday
recap.
Monday.
Hope to see you guys there. Mm-hmm. Everybody that stopped in and chat. This is awesome.
We think it's super cool.
Yes.
We enjoy talking to you. All right, gotta take now.
Go take it. Where you at, huh? Export.
Yes, and you're watching our prediction show.
Yeah.
Using those thumbs.
So just a reminder, we stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view. We do throw in a prediction show. If you haven't subscribed to us, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, go tell all your friends about us, because then they can come in and we can make this an even bigger chat and a bigger family. And so,
well, from our first live chat, it was great. Well, great.
We're glad to see you, Colin.
We appreciate you having. Wow, that didn't come out right. We appreciate having you here.
Yes, we do. We appreciate everybody that stops in and talks to us. And
yes. Woohoo!
Good job, Anthony.
I won. Actually, Anthony won.
I will come up with something that says Anthony is the champion for the next
You know what we should do? Maybe we should make, a poster board with, the logo of the pay-per-view. And then we can, write whoever. Or
just in the background here, since we do green screen, I could have Anthony as the current champion.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
then when everybody comes in, they're going to go, Anthony's the current champion. What are you talking about?
Anthony? Who's Anthony? Anthony isn't even here, man.
Yeah.
No, Anthony would be the... Even though I suck at predictions. You'll make it one day, Colin.
Yes.
You'll make it one day. Everybody will make it, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All of you have a good weekend.
You just got to pick the right people.
Yeah. Have a good weekend. We will see you Monday. Peace out.